Blog Talk Radio.
All right, guys, welcome to a very special episode of the Ignorance Equation. This is my Wednesday night musical Osmosis show. This is Nick Katsoris, your gracious host, the saucy one. I am broadcasting to you live out here from the land of meth and honey, Caryville, Tennessee. I also want to introduce my beautiful and talented producer, the even to my Steven, Danielle Prizer. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, babe.
You ready to talk some even Steven tonight?
Absolutely.
All righty. We are going to have a reunion of sorts. I hope we will get all four members of Even Steven live on the air for the first time in over 10 years. If not, we'll still play some music, talk about some old times. We've already got Paco holding. He'll have to hold just a moment longer while I play a Even Steven song. Which one to choose? I've got the whole album here. Let's do Office Politics. That's one that was always pretty popular. So, from our 2000 album release, Early Morning Punk Songs, this is Office Politics coming to you live, Even Steven, here on the Ignorance Equation. All right, that was Even Steven, Office Politics, and oldie but a goodie. We got Paco on the line, and I believe we've got Bobby on the line. We're just missing Brad. The phone number here, if you guys want to call in or any fans want to call in, 646-478-3554. And let me go ahead, and I am going to cue in Paco and Bobby. They are loading up now. What's up, man?
Okay.
All right.
What's up?
Anybody on the line?
I'm here,
Bobby,
man.
Barry, my man. What are you doing?
What's going on, brother? Long time. Man, listen, that stuff that's some nostalgic stuff right there.
I know, right? It just
Yeah,
took
I remember
13 years
recording
off
that.
my life.
Yeah, I barely remember recording that, actually.
When was the last time you guys popped in an Even Steven
song?
song?
End of the recording session.
Let's go ahead, Nick.
When was the last time, and when we say what's up, man, it's good to hear from both of you. When was the last time
Absolutely.
you guys popped in Even Steven?
Oh man, it's probably been a couple of years since I've listened to that.
I think it's still on my iPod somewhere. It randomly plays every now and then.
Yeah, it's definitely a random thing. You know, how long that was? What year was it?
13 years ago.
2000?
2000, we recorded that.
Wow.
Actually, 2000 we released it. We recorded it in 99.
99, yeah, at College Park.
College Park Phase Studio.
Yeah. That studio's long gone, man. I was up at Atomic probably about a month ago, and they've moved up Route 1 to Beltsville, but they don't have a studio anymore. That was a pretty decent studio, man. Good producer.
Yeah, he was awesome. What was his name? I think it was Mike.
I have no clue.
Oh, I don't remember his name. I just remember recording it on analog.
Yeah, and recording it. I think he broke his record for most songs recorded in one session.
That was due to our drummer. We had a good drummer.
Definitely.
Right. I just played as fast as I could and was done with it.
We recorded 13 songs in like 6 hours drunk during a blizzard. I don't even think Iron Maiden can say that. Yeah, I don't even think Iron Maiden can make that claim. We're missing Brad. I'm hoping he'll call in.
Brad's packing.
He's packing.
Brad needs to pack himself up on the phone and call in so we can have the full reunion.
I think he had like 4 days' notice to move, and now he's moving.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk Even Steven. This is more for the fans, so if I ask you some ridiculous questions that you think I should know the answer to, just go with it.
Ahead.
Paco, your Even Steven experience. Hit us. How you got in, what you thought when you got in, because I know it's a different style of music than you were used to, the whole journey, the ending.
I was at a comic shop because I'm kind of a comic geek. I think most people know that. And I saw you guys playing, and it was an old friend of mine that was playing guitar for you. And I think it was that night that was the original drummer's last show. And you guys asked me if I wanted to audition. I went up and auditioned at the barn that we used to practice in. And as I got the gig, the emergency brake on my car went out, and my car rolled backwards about 150 feet down a hill into the woods and hit a tree. So that was my experience getting into the band. After that, it was all blur. Everything just became one moment.
All right, Bobby, you want to chime in?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember I was at college. No, what the hell was that? I was College of Southern Maryland. College of Southern Maryland, and I ran into Paco. I had only met him a couple times before, and he knew I played in a band called Unky's Munkle. I'd never sung for a band ever in my life, and excited as he was, he's like, oh, man, I got this punk band. We're looking for a singer, and I was like, all right, I think I was going to enroll for psychology, and I ended up singing for you guys. I think it was like the next night I went and auditioned, and I ended up singing for you guys and dropping the psychology class. I was like, well, I'm singing for a band now. I'm not going to college.
If you ever needed a psychology course, it was after you joined the band.
Absolutely. So that was a good time, man. After that, I remember I brought my friend Adam, who I think he was on drugs when we showed up, but that's a completely different story. And I think you had a stack of lyrics for me to audition with, to read or to sing to, but I'd never sung old school punk in my life. I mean, I was used to singing. At the time, stuff like Radiohead, Again, I'd never sung in public, but that definitely set me up for what I'm doing today. I play in a band now. I'm a lead singer in a band, and yeah, that was definitely something that set me up for what I'm doing, man. It was a good time. I remember the shows. I remember being in D.C. playing at what was the name of that place?
Metro or Food Spot or
Kaffa House. Was it Coffee House and what was that place POD played like the night before we played?
The Metro POD played.
Metro Cafe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool place to play, man. Awesome stage. Always a good time. Yeah, man, it was fun. I ran into Paco, what was it, like a year and a half, 2 years ago at Target?
Yeah, it was a little while ago.
Dude, he was still wired just like he used to be. He's like, he saw me because he's walking next to some dude, I guess is one of his employees, and he's, oh, man, this dude used to be in my old school punk band. Man, he was my lead singer. And I was like, hey, Paco, it's good to see you.
I don't run around in the house like an old football player that's trying to hold on to the past, though. Just
Al Bundy, 3 touchdowns in one season.
I don't have the Al
one
Bundy
game.
syndrome.
He was pretty excited, man. He always had that energy, you know, the Paco energy.
So we've got a guitarist whose major band is Metallica. We got Bobby, who, like he said, he's into Radiohead. Paco's into what? No Doubt. None of you guys had ever played punk before, ever really listened to punk before, and somehow we pulled it off.
No, we did. It was, every now and then, I'll pop in the album and play it for somebody, you know. And it's been a while since I've done that, but I'm proud of it. Obviously, nobody's ever heard my voice like that, you know. It was a good time, man.
It was good, and I think, I got to say, probably because the three of us had never been in a punk band before, I think that's what gave it the sauciness. We brought in different influences and just kind of jumbled it into a bowl and mixed it together, and that's where we got that sound, which, in my opinion, is unlike any other punk band out there, which is why you came up with the saucy punk sound.
Yeah.
I think a lot that helped, especially with Brad, is the fucking zero ego. I mean, Brad would pop out a song and be like, dude, listen to this punk song. And it would sound like some Slayer, and I'd be like, oh, no, we can't do that, dude. And I'd be like, here we go, here's a punk song. And he'd be like, okay. And I think it's working with people who had fucking zero ego and just wanted to play shows is what made it. I mean, because people could have gone head-to-head and been like, dude, even though this sounds like a fucking Pantera song, I want to play it. But there was never none of that in there. You know, there was just like, let's get out here and play our shows. So I think that's a lot what made it work.
And Brad, I remember Brad and Paco used to break out the old Metallica songs. I was never into Metallica until I played in that band, you know. I didn't know. I mean, I knew who Metallica was, but I didn't buy the old school Metallica albums until I played in that band. I mean, there was a lot. I remember going to the TSOL show with you in DC. Man, I was into that. That was cool.
Oh, the one where Pickle and Pat accosted Jack Grisham, the lead singer.
Yeah, dude, we were in like a place next door getting a couple beers or something, and he was there. You remember?
Yeah, I remember. Pat and Pickle wouldn't leave him alone, and they were like, you're at Suburbia. We love you, dude. Come on, you're so cool. Sign our breath. We love you. And Jack Grisham's just like, dude, I've done some fucked up shit in my life, but get the fuck away from me. He's like, come on, man, drink some Crown Royal. Yeah, I'm Pickle. I love you. I want to lick your ass. And I mean, dude, they scared the fuck out of it. And if you know anything about Jack Grisham or TSOL, I mean, it's hard to scare him, dude. And Pickle and Pat had that guy practically running out of the fucking liquor store. And then that Chinese guy, like, pulled the blinds and just let us sit there and slam liquor all before the show.
Oh, dude,
like, let me pull the blinds. You guys can sit here and drink. And
you had some friends. You had some friends that were characters, man. You had some friends that were characters. Pickle and Pat. You know?
You put Pickle and Pat together, and there's that's the apocalypse right there.
Well, speaking of Pickle, let me go ahead and play the Pickle song and a little bit leading up to it. Who wants to introduce what's going on in this Pickle song here?
Well, it starts off with a phone call, a drunk phone call from Ralph. Which is me, the part played by me, a gay guy, of course, and I think I call him Ralph, actually, in the phone call, because I was pretty hammered at the time, so, but he never catches on. I believe he was probably hammered on the other end.
That's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, he was completely confused as to what was going on. I think I accused him of picking me up in the bar. So,
all right, well, we're going to play some Pickle in about the last
hearing
30
18 seconds and going, hey, we've got an 18-second song. We can't just do that. We've got to put something in front of it. And then Bobby put on his best gay voice, and this is what we got.
We all love Pickle. This is an homage to Pickle, and here we go. We're going to play some Pickle. You guys hang tight.
Hello? Yes, I speak to Pickle. This is him? Pickle, it's Ralph. Sorry, I was busy. I'm from the gold mine. Do you remember me? No. The other night? With your, I remember your long hair, okay, and you were kind of stroking my back. Do you remember? No.
Hello, buddy.
You know.
No.
You were kind of drunk, but you gave me your number. He said to call you.
Who are you?
It's Ralph from the gold mine.
Don't know you.
You don't know me.
No.
Ralph, I'm kind of upset about that. You don't.
This is a joke, right?
Ralph, no, it's not a joke.
This is a joke. Who the hell is this?
It's Ralph.
I don't know you, Ralph.
Pickle, I can't believe this. You told me all. Pickle.
Who the fuck is this?
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Pickle?
This is a fucking joke, dude.
Pickle, don't fuck with me, okay? Don't fuck with me.
I'll fuck with you. Who are you?
Pickle.
Who the fuck is this?
Pickle. Don't do this, Pickle.
I don't even know who the hell you are.
Don't do this. My mother's here.
Who is your mother?
Don't do this. I told her all about you.
Who?
Pickle.
Oh,
I told her all about you. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you know who the hell this guy is. No, Mother. No. Pickle.
What night? Last time I was in the gold mine.
What?
The last time I was in the gold mine. What night was this?
I don't remember. It was so long ago. But you gave me your number, and I've been talking about you to my mother so long. I gotta go. You really pissed me off. Bye.
All right, that was Pickle. Good stuff. You guys still with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, this goes on. I don't say anything to Pickle for like 2 weeks. We get the mixed tracks of everything. I play it for Pickle. He about loses his mind. I think I give him a copy of it, and I get a call from him like a week later, and he's like, dude, I played Pickle for my dad, and he wants to sue you.
I love it.
That's hilarious. I've never heard that story. I probably have.
Yeah, which isn't the first time. One time we were inventing Saucey Acres Fire Department at my house. My old landlord used to collect fire trucks, not like fucking models, but fire trucks. He was this old crazy eccentric, and he asked if he could park one at my house, which was the house I was renting from him. He's like, the city, this government oppression, they'll only let me keep 5 fire trucks in my yard. Can I keep a fire truck at your place? And I was like, yeah, sure.
He collected real fire trucks?
He collected real fire. You never saw the fire truck at my place in Virginia Beach?
Never.
Well, anyways, we would do like 20.
I've only been to Virginia Beach like twice.
Wow. Well, we would do like 20-foot fucking beer bongs off the top of this fire truck, pull the ladder up, and do these insane, like hook 5 beer bongs together and do these beer bongs off the fire truck. And one night we all got wasted, and Pat got completely butt-ass naked, gone in the back of the fire truck and just covered his junk with a fucking construction hat. And was like looking into space on the back of his truck. So I made this MySpace page called Saucey Acre Fire Department, and I named him like Patio Drunky, and we had like Sweet Cakes McButtons, and everybody had like these fucked up Irish fireman names. And I put it up, and people were like laughing their asses off, making all these stupid comments. And then eventually Pat's dad was like, you need to sue him. This is a disgrace. So yeah, everybody's always wanting to fucking sue me.
Well, it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened, but I would have to say I've pissed a lot of people off in my life.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
So what are you going to do, dude? It's how I'm wired. Anyways, question to pose to you all. Favorite Even Steven song to play live? Favorite Even Steven song to listen to? Go.
Go ahead, Paco.
I think my favorite Even Steven song to listen to would probably be FBI Guy. I had a lot of fun playing that one. Playing live, though, I'd have to say Pickle is probably one of the best to play live. 18 Seconds of Madness. And I think when we played it live, we actually got it done in less than 18 seconds, but it was just complete madness every time we played it live.
Yeah.
Bobby.
My favorite song to listen to is definitely Pickle. It's the best 18 seconds I've ever recorded, I think.
Punk rock. I think it's the best
It
18 seconds of punk rock to ever exist.
It is. And my favorite song to play live was one we didn't record on that album. We recorded in a studio in Virginia Beach, but it turned out really crappy.
Yes,
that's why I don't have it on here.
You're right. This is my favorite one to play live, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, what is the name of that song? Oh, my.
It was
Rebound Girls?
Ex-Girlfriend.
Rebound Girls. Man, that was a fun
amazing.
That's one you could jump up and down to, man. That was a fun song to play live.
Yeah, that was definitely like our song with the hook, radio song, everybody could get into.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next question.
Horrible.
Favorite
the
show?
recording.
Yes, that guy was a prick. There's no doubt about it. The guy that ran the studio was a prick.
I think my favorite show, at least one of my favorite shows, I have to
Let me chime in real quick on the studio thing. I think what's incredible, mind-blowing, is not that we recorded that little compilation there, but the drummer from Matchbox 20 was in there recording at the same time.
No.
Like, why?
No, it was the guitar player
from
Matchbox.
Primus.
It was the drummer from Primus that was there. And we also met Kyle from Matchbox 20 there at the
Matchbox,
time. Yeah.
Why were people going to that crap-ass studio?
I don't know, man. Apparently they didn't have the same guy we had recording it, the same, producer, mechanic, whatever they call him.
I think the guy that recorded us was actually the janitor of the studio. I don't think he actually was a producer of any kind.
He was really bad.
I have a theory all
remember
those big bands recorded there because other crap did. And I think they just wanted to record at the house that, like, Pickle and Pat recorded at.
Yeah, that had to be it.
But anyway, favorite show?
I think mine's split. For me, my favorite show is probably the Elbow Room. I think it was the second time we played there. I did a strip
the one where you rip your pants off.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I ripped my pants off. Nick
Well, that was my birthday.
with the audience and had the bright idea of, hey, we're going to down and figure out every song with you guys. And I think we're the only ones that down beers every 30 seconds. I was pretty wasted after about the fourth song.
Yeah, we were like fucking Metallica, and our songs were 8-9 minutes long. It wouldn't be a problem. But you should never make a wager like that.
A minute long. So I'm down. It got to the point, dude, where I was just pouring beer in my face, making it look like I was drinking. I just couldn't take it anymore. And of course, I ended up naked with a women's song on, I think.
Yeah, you had I think it was Ellie's song, wasn't it?
No, it was. It wasn't Ellie. I think this was pre-Ellie. It was. Can't remember whose. I just know I went to the bathroom with some chick and she gave me her thong and I stripped.
Well, Brad's not on the air, so it was Brad's thong.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
And then I remember Brad getting his Prince Albert running into the room later on. Hey guys, look what I got! Dropping trowel, this big bar coming out of his dick. It was funny. Do you piss in two directions? Brad is a trip, man. I miss that guy.
He is a trip, dude. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, man.
Okay, and your favorite show, Bobby?
Probably. I remember the Wicked Sand Jam was a lot of fun. I mean, that whole weekend was a blast.
Yeah, it was stressful for me because I was throwing it.
Met my future wife.
I didn't have the fun I should have had.
That's right. Your wife was with Karen. Karen Tyler.
Yeah. We were trying to hook up with Brad, remember? And my girlfriend at the time, Ellie, was in the wet T-shirt contest. And then later on, I ended up hooking up with my wife, and it's been 13 years we've been married now.
Hey, congratulations, man.
That was the show we met at the San Jam.
That's awesome.
Wow. A lot of love connections there, and a lot of ripped off ears, busted eye sockets, violated underage girls, and all kinds of other stupid, crazy shit.
There's a lot. The guy that I play in a band with now, I don't know if you know him, Teddy Custer.
Yeah, I know Teddy.
Teddy's my drummer, and he was actually a DJ at that show.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that. I was in the little house when he was spinning.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
All
lot
right,
of fun.
well, you guys
man.
hang tight. Is there anything you guys want to hear in particular before I hit the play button?
Girls Love Shoes.
That sounds like a good one. This one goes out to all the sexy ladies out there. This is Girls Love Shoes by Even Steven. So I want to take a vote here. Who's for remixing that song and getting Ellie and Mindy's dumbass to fuck off there and put it in Jen and Danielle?
Oh, absolutely.
That would be amazing. It'd be like taking out the old Anakin Skywalker of Star Wars and putting in the new Anakin.
Yes, we have to artificially, digitally enhance, stick them into songs.
It wouldn't be hard. You know what? I actually have I have the original reel-to-reel from the studio right upstairs in my room. So if we can find somebody that still has an analog recorder, we can remix the whole thing, make it digital, and do anything we want to it.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
There you go.
Tagged out. I still got it.
So let's talk about some of the best shows. Metro, Easter Sunday. Sold the place out. First time playing Metro.
I don't remember. We played on an Easter Sunday?
Yeah, the first Metro show we ever did was Easter Sunday. It's the only reason we got the gig, because nobody wanted to fucking play on Easter Sunday. And Undermine was supposed to play with us, because I had an in with the owner through Bill Jarbo. So they were like, all right, well, if Undermine will play with you guys Easter Sunday, we'll set it up. And they backed out last minute, and it was like us, Eastern Front, and I think FBA.
Was it Lesbian Boy?
No, that was a horrible show. That was the very last time we played Metro.
Oh, I don't know. It's all one big show to me now.
God, you guys have no memory of all this stuff?
Dude,
no,
my memory from those years is completely... We were doing a lot of stuff back in those days.
There was a lot
What about
of
our little
alcohol.
mini tour?
Oh, that was fun.
Tootstown, Pennsylvania, down to Virginia Beach, back up to Maryland.
That was with my friend Adam, who was Cape Horn Love. Do you remember that?
Oh, I can't forget Adam, man. He was incredible.
What about Percival? Percival was awesome. That was another show where Pico highlighted himself.
I wasn't the singer then. Yeah, I wasn't the
Yeah, we
singer
were
then.
talking about Percival on the Dionic show because Dionic played it, and how that guy fucked us and said they were going to have this giant turnout for us. And you remember that moron, J.A., Chris Burson's friend? And he was always, like, hyped up. I mean, yeah, the guy was always, like, this, like, moronic, drunk, fat, like, slob. Oh, can I fuck some shit up, Nick? Yeah, come on. He reminded me of, like, that dog on the cartoon. It's like, come on, George. Can we go do this, George? And every time we'd have a show, like, can I fuck some shit up, Nick? Yeah, and then when the dude screwed us, I went to J.A. I said, dude, let it rip. Do whatever you got to do. And there was all these, like, 10-year-olds, because it was a World Series of Junior League Baseball. Little League Baseball. So there's all these, like, fucking 10-year-olds there, like, standing there. We actually signed autographs afterwards. Like, people actually thought we were somebody. Like, we had everybody snowed, like we were an actual band. And I told Jay, I was like, do whatever you got to do. And he's, like, clotheslining 10-year-olds and, like, hairy, sweaty mess of a man.
He knocked that kid across the room. He slid, like, 15 feet on the floor into the other room.
Oh, my God.
And then Nick comes out after the show and says, man, I'm sorry, the guy screwed us, and hands me $2.64. By the way, was enough to get a pack of cigarettes at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we got autographs, we sold T-shirts, and it was actually cool. All right, so here's the hard question. What was the demise of Even Steven? Why did we hit this level and never make it beyond it?
I think
I was kicked out of the band.
It wasn't from a lack of talent. It wasn't from a lack of the music. The album's stellar.
I'm going to have to say, on my part, I probably have to take a big part of the blame for this. I mean, we were 4 strong until I met somebody who I thought was the person I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And girlfriends always get in the way, man. It's hard to find a girl that's not going to get in the way. And for my part of it, I think I've always blamed myself for the demise of where we started going downhill, because when I left the band the first time, it never really regained momentum. And then by the time you guys had allowed me to come back into the band, I think at that point Bobby was done, and he was like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this no more. So I think the demise actually had to be because of a girl. Isn't that always how it goes?
I mean, yeah, not on my end. You don't know how many girls I would, like, kick to the curb over Even Steven.
Right.
Because being on stage, for me, it was better than sex. Yeah, like if I had to pick between sex and being on stage, I pick being on stage hands down every time.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't disagree with that. I think it just became a point of I think for me it started becoming a lot about the partying. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, when's the show over so I can just get down to partying, and then that's what it turned into. So that's my bad. So everybody listening out there, the fall and demise of Even Steven is the fault of the drummer.
Send all your hate emails to Paco on
all
Facebook.
Hate emails to Paco.
Everybody's life has been decimated. By the end of
Who
Even
knows
Steven,
what we would be doing now if Paco just could control his drinking and his women.
Maybe I need to get a lawsuit going.
No, I think
Bobby,
for me,
you see it the same way?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think there was a little too much partying going on for me. I mean, I love to party, but I was only 19, and you guys exposed me to a lot, man, a lot. And I had the time of my life, but I remember going to record that song at Virginia Beach, and everybody was just completely jacked up. And I was like, well, I'm glad. I mean, that was only like a special appearance for me, and I was like, well, I guess I'm glad I'm done with this. It wasn't really my thing, you know. But I definitely don't regret it. I had a lot of fun, man. I had a ton of fun. I still reflect on those days. You know?
It's weird. You guys see it that way, and I see it like you guys are like describing it like we were like this out of control, typical punk band you would see like on some decline of Western civilization. Like Sid Vicious, like needle in your vein. I mean, I don't really think we were that out of control. I mean, I know I never was, dude, you know. I did what I did. I had my fun. I partied. But, I mean, I went to work the next day. I didn't, like, burn my apartment down or get arrested. I mean, we were just all having fun. We were kids. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I was a kid. I was 19. You were what, 30?
27.
I was 27.
27, 28.
I was 27.
Yeah. You know, and I think the most fucked up I ever got, I know Paco can remember this. Bobby was gone at this point. But I don't understand what happened, dude. I drank 2 fists over the course of maybe 2 hours of Mad Dog.
Oh, Lord.
And I was in the streets stopping traffic, like screaming at people. And at this time I had to sing. We got a bass player, and I was singing. And, I mean, usually I was pretty professional on stage. Even if I was drinking, I'm a guy who can usually drink and people can't even tell I'm drunk. I just get more talkative. But I was so fucking annihilated. I was actually, like, a little embarrassed the next day. Like, oh, my God, what the hell was wrong with me? But, I mean, you know what show I'm talking about, the Cogans?
Cogans, yeah, I remember.
Like, I was downing a fifth of Mad Dog walking through CVS, like, screaming at people. Like, I was like a belligerent asshole. And I don't even know how it happened. And I don't even remember that show. I don't even know if I actually sang lyrics or if I just, like, mumbled.
You did. You sang lyrics from the floor. You actually sat on the drum set and then jumped on the floor and sang lyrics on your back. I remember.
I don't remember. And
hey, guys, let me break off here real quick. I'll call you right back in 2 seconds.
All right.
All righty. That sounds like a good time to play a song. Paco, do you have a preference?
I want to save the big song we always played live last. So how about we haven't heard FBI Guy yet.
All righty. Let's hear some FBI Guy. This is FBI Guy by Even Steven. Funny side note, this song actually started out with my old band, Government Cheese, as a song called Trainwreck, the original riff. But it sounded like such a funky type spy song. I rewrote the lyrics, recycled it, and threw it into Even Steven. Yes, I will recycle shit if I have to. All right, here goes some FBI Guy coming at you live. All right, that was FBI Guy by Even Steven. Just to let everybody know, Even Steven is re-released and on Amazon. If anybody would like to buy the album, just go on Amazon, type in Early Morning Punk Songs, and there you go. Paco, you with me? And I think, let me try to cue Bobby back in. He was having phone issues. All right, you guys both with me? All right, so we got 20 minutes left. Why don't you guys tell me what you're doing now? Tell the audience what you're doing now, if there is an audience.
Bob's got a more exciting story because he's still playing music. So let me go through mine real quick of what's been going on. Married life, 13 years, couple kids. My wife and I actually started a band together called Upper Deck, and lo and behold, believe it or not, we ended up getting signed to a record label and touring for a while. We toured for about a year and a half. Got our album up on MTV.com and Billboard.com, and album sales around the world, stuff like that. And then, of course, touring. I don't know if people know it or not, but touring actually takes a lot out of you. Playing different cities every night for a year and a half it takes a toll. So that band ended up fizzling away. Band members went to other bands and this and that. So now I got fat and then decided I didn't want to be fat anymore, and now I am a fitness coach. And that's about where my life is right now.
Bobby,
Paco's got an incredible story too. I read it online about his whole journey to that. So if anybody can check that, if anybody's listening, check that out. I think Paco should give some more information on that because it's pretty inspiring. So now right now I'm married with 2 kids. I have a nice house. I just got a new job working for Comcast. I worked for Verizon for about 10.5 years.
You know, it's ironic. I worked for Comcast for 4 years, and now I work for Verizon.
Yeah.
There's definitely some irony in that. You work for Verizon Wireless, or do you work for the core company?
Well, I work for a retailer, which is Cellular Sales, but they're a retailer of Verizon.
There you go. Yeah, man, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I lost my job because I got sick. I have Crohn's disease, and I've had about 4 surgeries. Lost about 60% of my colon, and I just had surgery about 2 months ago. Finally recovered from that, and I got a new job, man. I'm doing good. Playing in this band called Adelina. It's Facebook.com/Adelina Indie Rock. If you guys want to check that out, you can download the songs for free. Yeah, I'm proud of it, man. It's all songs that I've written. We've got a lot of new stuff too that's not recorded yet, but we were on hiatus because of my surgery. But it's a good time. It's not no expectations. We're just doing it really to play music. So yeah, I got 2 beautiful kids, man. I got my son who's Michael, he's 3 years old. He's going on 4 this month, and my daughter Madison, who's just turned 6 last month. So I'm pretty happy, man. I'm with the same girl that you guys, Jennifer. I was with her back in '99 when we recorded that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're 1998 to about 2002 when we finally really fizzled out for good. For me, 1997, because there was, 27 members of Even Steven before you guys even fucking joined. I think we had more members than, Boston or Alabama. Yeah,
let's be honest, it didn't get awesome until me, Brad, and Paco came into the band. Would you write music?
That was the chemistry. That was Even Steven. Nothing before or after was Even Steven, of course. I remember we used to get drunk, argue with each other, and in the middle of an argument, Paco would hit his drumsticks, and like robots we would start playing. We would just shut up and be like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And he could always shut us up just by fucking counting in. We could be ready to punch each other in the face, and Paco would be like, chit-chit-chit, and we'd be like, do-do-do-do-do-do.
And if it wasn't for the DeSantis, dude, we wouldn't have a place to practice, that was a great place that barn they let us practice in with all the hay surrounding it, That was a fun place to hang out too. So
the little guinea hens running around attacking your tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of help along the way. And it was definitely good times, man. And you look at everybody involved in that scene, everybody tightly knit to the Even Steven scene, the whole little entourage or whatever you want to call it. And you look at everybody now, and everybody's actually doing well, successful. Even Pickle owns a trailer and works, at IHOP still after.
He's not the great thing about Mall anymore.
Now, and here's the thing, dude. This is the thing about Pickle. Pickle is so lovable, and I don't want to make a show about Pickle. Maybe one day I'll do a show about Pickle because he deserves a show. Pickle is so lovable that he's so hard to actually be mad at that after about his 5th or 6th time of getting fired from IHOP for not showing up, and they rehired him back, he would actually just call in on crack. He'd be like, "I'm too fucked up on crack, not coming in tonight." All right, Pickle, see you Monday. It got to that point. Like, where they're like, dude, firing him doesn't even work because he comes up here with his puppy dog eyes and his charming little personality, and we have to rehire him. So, if you're on crack,
what are you doing now?
Well, they would pay everybody on Friday except Pickle. They would pay him on Monday.
Oh.
Because they knew if they paid him on Friday, they wouldn't see him like that weekend. Yeah, and it's just like they would hire back. He'd be like, yeah, I'm on crack. Fucked up. Can't come in. Okay, Pickle.
We're going to start paying
you
on
I
Monday.
think that's kind of a testimony to the kind of guy Pickle is. He's in some ways my hero.
Pickle is the only man I know who would sleep through an apartment fire. His apartment was actually on fire, and the firefighters had to wake him up. They broke in and knocked down his door and woke him up.
Let me just endorse one more Pickle story here. Pickle was telling me this story, and Pickle's a mess. I mean, when you see him, his hair is greasy, half his teeth are gone. He's got terrible skin. And he's telling me this story about how he had to get a boil lanced off his ass.
Ew.
Like this big, 50-cent piece size boil lanced off his ass. So he's like, I go in, and these guys, they put me on my stomach, and they come in with rain slickers. And they come in here, and they start lancing this boil, and they have, goggles and rain slickers on. And it explodes. A boil, pops, and pus splatters all over them. And I look back, and I say, take that, motherfuckers. And that was Pickle, dude, in a nutshell.
That's him.
One time, one more great Pickle story. One time we're in his basement, tripping as we used to do every other night back in the early 90s, and Pickle starts telling me how he used to be a Boy Scout. He's like, yeah, I was an Eagle Scout. I'm like, bullshit, Pickle. You weren't no fucking Eagle Scout. He said, bullshit, watch this. And we're done. We're toast. He goes into his closet. He pulls out his Boy Scout uniform from when he was 13 years old. Puts on his Boy Scout uniform. Can button one button, the button's fucking holding on for dear life. One button can button on this thing, and it's just fat hanging out. He gets an Iron Maiden banner off his wall. And he's like, let's go to Quickie Mart. We walk out of his house at Pinefield. We walk up to, actually then it was called Dash In. We go into Dash In, 3 a.m, tripping. Pickle in his Boy Scout uniform, the pants that are supposed to hang down to your knees are up to his nutsack because he's just so big now. He's got one button and the rest is just hair and chest popping out. And he goes up to the lady. We get some Nestle Quick. Goes up to the counter and he's like, at 3 a.m, poor little Asian lady, can I get a Boy Scout discount? And that was Pickle.
I love it.
Was he? Wait. Was he really an Eagle Scout?
Yeah, he was also
Wow.
on the math chess team.
So kids, remember this: crack kills.
Crack kills. Yeah. We're not talking about butt crack.
Talk about a billboard.
It was crazy,
dude.
dude.
We just need to bring his stories into the schools, and no kids will get on crack.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah,
okay, so any
funny.
good even Steven stories you guys want to relive? It sounds like you guys don't remember many of them. I remember them all. They're all documented.
I remember sending in. I remember recording. We were recording a demo because we needed to send a demo contest up to HF Festival because we were going to try to play HF Festival. No, I'm sorry, it was Warp Tour. We were going to play Warp Tour, and CJ was our guitar player at the time, and he knew a guy, one of the judges on the panel for Warp Tour, but he had to drive all the way to Baltimore.
And let me just interject here. CJ sucked. We had a song, Fed Up These Days, and everybody had a breakdown. There was a little drum breakdown, and there was a little bass breakdown, a little guitar breakdown, and CJ just had to, do a slide. He couldn't even do, a little lick right there, And this kid came into the band. He was in college, pre-law, had a good job, good job for college, waiter at Red Lobster, respectable job, nice car, lived at home. 6 months later, dropped out of school, unemployed, car wrecked, trying to, snort coke off dirty couch cushions, drinking beer filled with cigarette butt.
I think your guitar player's on my couch. We don't even know who the girl was. She just called, he was trying to snort coke off my couch, and that's where he passed out. Can you guys come get him?
Yeah, he got decimated by our lifestyle.
Yeah. He got flattened.
Did you?
Anyway,
did
so
you
we
like,
were recording this tape because CJ knew a guy for Warped Tour, and so we got done. We recorded, I think it was 3 songs. We ended up recording on a little 4-track, just a quick demo that we can send up to him. And he goes up the road, and we're all chilling at Burgundy's house. And he goes up the road. We get this phone call like a half hour later, and says, "Hey man, I forgot my beer. Can you guys save me my beer? Don't drink my beer." And then we realized at that point that the recording was empty, so he was heading up there with an empty recording anyway.
Oh my Lord.
Pretty ironic there, I guess. I guess there's no irony there.
And I remember the last show we did with Jason Budd as a singer, which Jason was a fucking great frontman all the way around. And he was going off to college. So we did this show in our backyard. This was pre-Bobby. And Paco was in the band. And CJ, like, flipped out, smashed his guitar to pieces, like, got wasted, and was crying, like, sitting up in the apartment. Do you remember that, Paco?
Yeah, that night we introduced Brad into the band.
Was that the night we introduced? I thought we were going to call it quits after that, and that's what made him flip out.
He flipped
the band drama.
Quit. Right, and that's the night when you said, talk to Brad, because he was flipping out. Brad was there. Brad was at that show. He didn't play. He was at that show.
Show, party. Yeah, that was a crazy time back in that apartment behind that church. And that was like when Good Charlie used to come down there, and they would, like, bitch me out for partying behind his church.
I remember we were behind the church, and we were throwing a show, and they'll play the police show up. And okay, so you got like 100, 150 drunk punk kids, and they'll play the police show up, and they're like, "We're the cops," and they're cussing them. And the guy gets on the microphone, and the cop brings out his extending baton and extends it, and all of a sudden you hear all these bottles breaking. "Come on, we'll take you on." And then the Charles County police showed up like 10 minutes later and said, they got on the microphone and said, "Anybody who's not out of here in the next 5 minutes, we are going to arrest." And the whole place split up. And then your brother got pulled over that night for drunk driving, got a ticket for being underage and drunk, and then ended up going to court and beaten in court because the cop told him to get in the car and drive away or he was going to get arrested.
Yeah, my brother's a catsaurus, dude. He can freaking debate.
Dude, your brother's he's got a good head on his shoulders, man. I was actually working with him this time last year. Phil?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working the same company he was this time last year. He was my boss, actually.
Yeah, Phil's a good guy. I talked to him a few times.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to play some Get Rich Quick Scheme. We've got a few minutes left. You guys want to hear some Get Rich Quick Scheme?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the song that I did a striptease to at the Elbow Room, wearing women's
Indeed. Songs. You know, I'm disappointed Sally Punchkill hasn't called it.
Plans in the horizon.
That was Get Rich Quick scheme. Back to my question earlier, I never really got an answer on. Are you guys surprised that our whole scene back then, all these guys are alive and doing well, and nobody's really, like, dead in jail for life?
Actually, no, it's not very surprising. I mean, we did have a lot of fun and we partied a lot, but for the most part, we weren't hoodlums and we weren't troublemakers. We were just we were young kids that were partying. That's all there was to it. So I'm not real surprised with that.
No, not at all. I mean, I've learned. There's so much I've learned from playing in that band. The friends I made, the effed up parties. You know, I mean, I remember. The house. You remember where you used to live in Virginia Beach? Who used to live there? It was who had that apartment before you did?
Ben and Troy.
Yeah, Ben Story. Yeah, I remember going there and partying, and there'd be 20 people sleeping in one room. You know, I mean, it was I've never had an experience like that again. You know, never. And I believe I think I was there when Ben met his wife that weekend. I remember. I think I was there that weekend. I think he's still married, right?
Yeah. You know, and here's the crazy thing. Everybody from that scene has been married 10 years or more, except me. I've gone through 2 wives. I've had this fucking 6-day marriage.
What? You've been married twice?
I got married to a girl I met online. Okay, this is a crazy story. So I meet this chick online on a dating site, and she's in a band. You know, she's hot. She, like the first date we went on, she takes me to this art studio where artists, like, drew her painting. Like, she was their muse. And after that first date, we're like, fuck it, let's get married. Like, I didn't even know her 24 hours that I married her. And my line of thinking was, I knew Renee for 20 years. I waited till I was 35. I lived with her for 4 years. She got pregnant. Like, I played everything by the numbers. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a George Costanza. Since everything I've ever done in romance was wrong, I'm going to do the fucking exact opposite and marry somebody I just met yesterday. And it's going to be awesome and work out. And it was like this hippie chick, and we were together 6 days, and she left me to go live on an Indian reservation in New Mexico. I got like a Dear John email. And she split. Here's what happened
to Renee?
Nuts. Well, listen, here's what happened to Becca, my second wife. I was taking Vivian to ice skating, which is about an hour from here, and it's in the neighborhood, the area Becca used to live in. So I'm pulling off the exit, and I see this attractive woman standing on the exit with a sign that says traveling, need money, dreadlocks, has a dog, all punked out, hippie looking. And I was like, well, she's attractive. You know, I might stop by and give her $1. And I couldn't pull over because there was a car in front of me and a car behind me. And I'm going through the light, and it's my fucking ex-wife. And I haven't seen her in 4 years. And I don't see her for 4 years, and I see her on the highway begging for money. And that was my 6-day marriage.
That's story. Wow.
It was absolutely crazy. No, Renee,
you're even to your Steven, and your white to your rice, that is your producer, is an awesome chick. I've met her and hung out
we've been together 4 years, and I've never had a better relationship. You guys hang on the line. We can go a little bit over into the archive, but the live version is about to kick off. I do want to let everybody know that next Wednesday, one of my all-time favorite bands, Narcoleptic Youth, is going to be on the show. I am super excited. These are guys that I've been into for like 10 years, and it's going to be really cool. Everybody, I hope, will tune in, ask the guys some questions. I'm going to play a few Narcoleptic Youth songs, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Ignorance Equation Wednesday Night Musical Osmosis Live. Bobby, Paco, stay on the line, and we can talk a few more minutes. You guys cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
So I'm going to play an Even Steven song to head everybody out. We've got like 30 seconds. You guys stay on the line. I think I'm going to play...
Jock Asshole.
I don't have Jock Asshole. It wasn't on the album. Backseat Driver. Here we go.
I made a left back, still can't find it, You want me to pull the gas station to ask for the mother, for the racket, corner more, in the picture, still can't find it.
There we go. For all you archive listeners, Backseat Driver, I want to let you guys know we have anywhere between 500 and 700 listeners on the archive. So some people hopefully will hear this.
Well, you're getting some listeners. I hear that you're starting to get some traction, so that's fantastic.
Yeah,
have you guys
anyway,
had a
I
chance
just want
to
to
check
say,
out
hey,
the
Bobby,
show
man,
before this?
it's good here. It's good to hear your voice, Bobby and Nick. It's always amazing to talk to you. I can't listen to your political show because we're just so different in that realm that it just I can listen to about 5 or 10 minutes of it before I go, man, I can't listen to this anymore because we're so on opposite sides. But I love you, man.
So you're saying you love Ted Nugent?
I do.
Wow.
There are two types of people in this world: those who love Ted Nugent and those who don't.
Obviously.
So,
all right. Well,
so,
do you guys want to say anything in closing to the whatever audience we may have out there?
Yeah.
Go get the album. It's an amazing album. It's vintage. It's old school, and you're gonna love it. So go Amazon.com, put in Early Morning Public Phones, and get your copy.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you
listen to that album, and it's incredible. I mean, the producer literally it was done in like 12 hours. It's for the time we did it in, it's a quality album.
Done
it
old
would be
school,
a quality
analog,
album for 5 days.
With tape.
Yeah,
with tape.
and we all
Done
played
analog.
in the same room. Like, we refused to go into little cubby holes and play and auto-tune and all that crap. It was an actual garage album where we all played in the same fucking room. It was like, dude, we're going to play this like we play a show together.
And it was live. That's how we recorded it. So.
Yeah.
So what you heard is, what you got with Even Steven. I'm disappointed Brad didn't call in, and I'm disappointed Sally Smutsko didn't call in.
Sally
she was a big
Smutsko,
part of the show.
Man. I haven't seen that woman in years.
Actually, she passed away about 4 years ago. They found her displayed in a crack hotel in Milwaukee. But, people come and go. All right, I want to thank you guys for calling in. I'm going to end the show with some Nobody's Bothers Me, and hopefully you guys will come on the show again. We'll try to do some Even Steven maybe a couple months from now and get Brad on.
Absolutely. Hey, Bobby, it was nice hearing your voice, man.
You too, man. Good to hear from you.
All right.
You too, Nick.
All right, guys. Later.
All right. Peace.
Nobody bothers me either.
Picked up the phone and called you ring. Said I saw your ad on TV. Can you make me a karate kid? He said come on in, and he did. Things were better when the police came around. A couple of kids said they were on the ground. Let's take it karate kid to sing. Looked at the boy and started to say, nobody bothers me. Nobody bothers me. Come on USA 1000. Do the ring, fight for right.
Nobody bothers me. Nobody bothers me either.
All right, that was Even Steven, Nobody Bothers Me. Kind of a parody song of an old commercial from the DC Karate Studio. I guess we are running over. I'm going to jump off here. I want to thank everybody, as always, for making the show a success. We have really strong numbers for a new show on internet radio, so I do want to thank all our fans. I guess that's all I have to say. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I'll be off Sunday. We'll be on vacation, so no political show on Sunday. Next Wednesday, Narcoleptic Youth. I am super excited. When Danielle asked me, what band do you want to have on first on the show? As far as bands I don't actually know, Narcoleptic Youth was the first one that came to mind. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody. As always, I am your humble servant of rock and roll, Nick, the Saucy One Cat Source. Thank you for tuning in, and I will hear from you guys next Wednesday. Goodbye.